And welcome, my friends. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's actually Halloween, so you might be busy with your kids trick or treating, or maybe a Halloween party, or what have you. But I wanted to start this week, regardless if it was Halloween or not. But I did want to do this starting today on Monday. I'd like to offer you a little sample of the book that you see up on the screen. Change. It begins with you. So, what I'm going to do, my plan is, I'm going to just take a few chapters, and not in this particular video. I'm going to probably do like 2 chapters per video, and I'll put like 3 videos out there, just so people have an idea of what is in this workbook. And I call it a workbook because that's exactly what my intention was. It's a 8.5 by 11 soft covered workbook, pretty much. And this is life. This is the workbook. It's life. I touch on so many different topics in this book that I really don't think I missed anything. And if I did, please let me know, because in the next one I'll make sure I include it. But this book covers a lot of topics about us, about who we are, and about life, and about the people in our lives. So, let me just jump right in and do this. All right, so I decided on reviewing or previewing, whatever you want to call it. Actually, it's, I guess, both. But I decided on this chapter, attracting the right people. And I'm just going to read you right from the book. We all know that relationships are a massive part of our lives. Family, friends, love interests. We deem these people so important, we often identify ourselves through them. That's not to say that this is a bad thing, seeing as they have a sizable influence on each of us, both as we grow up and when we're adults. The people we surround ourselves with can make or break not just our daily mood, but how we view the world in its entirety, as well. You know, there's a saying out there, and it's very accurate, it's very true, that each of us is the average of the 5 people we surround ourselves with, or the 5 people that we spend the most time with. We become the average of those 5 people. And just like those 5 people are the average of their 5 people. And so on and so on. We become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Always keep that in mind. So, these are just some of the few reasons people are so important for each of us. But one question remains a mystery for many people. How do you attract the people who are right for you? Now, here comes the answers. And I just want to do this because I want you to know how the book is set up. Okay, each chapter I begin with a small little description, and then I get into detail of tips, techniques, exercises, and different things that you can do to change. All right. So number one is get to know yourself first. You can't know if something is good for you if you don't know who you are and what you want. To make sure you understand yourself on a level where you'll have the correct opinion of other people, you need to know the answers to a few questions about yourself first. What qualities do you appreciate and look for both in other people and yourself? Second, what are your ideologies concerning certain essential subjects and the world as a whole? What character traits do you want to improve, and which ones that you won't let change? What do you look for in a relationship, and what are you bringing to the table in that relationship? Now, some of these may not be as easy to answer as others, but all of them are equally important to find the right people for you and to maintain the relationships that you build. You must start with yourself. Next, reduce the negativity around you. This is certainly easier said than done, but that shouldn't discourage you, really. Whichever way we turn, we don't have an unlimited amount of time. And negativity in any form is at the very least a waste of that time. This, however, can be a great motivator to start enjoying life more and work on making every day better for you and the people that you cherish. An easy way to start is by questioning whether a specific action or person is making you feel okay in this exact moment and in general. By evaluating an exact situation, you have a clearer perspective on what the thing in question brings you. In other words, think of a situation. Well, after the people that you have in your circle, okay, or in your family, whatever the case may be. Question a specific action that person does, okay? And I don't mean question them, I mean ask yourself. Think of a time that you weren't happy with that person. Was it a question of their integrity? Was it something that they really didn't have a choice that they had to do, although it might have hurt your feelings? We have to remember that for the most part, not every time, but for the most part, everybody makes choices and decisions based on what they believe is the right thing at any given moment. So although the consequences of that decision may have hurt you, you have to try to put yourself in their shoes. You have to be able to open your mind up a little bit and see things, or try to see things through their perspective and understand why they did what they did. Now, if it's a habitual thing and it's something that they continually do over and over, then that should answer your question about whether this person should be in your life or not. But I mean, if it happens once in a very blue moon, and the situation that person was in, you've got to consider that. All right, so from that point on, all you have to do is stay true to your feelings. This might be difficult, but it is worth it in the end. Be honest about what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and make sure the person opposite you understands you correctly. By removing some of the negative emotions in your life, you'll have more time to dedicate to your ambitions, your plans, and your current experiences. Next, embrace your quirks. Everyone's unique, and everyone has their own amazing individual thoughts, emotions, and traits, which is precisely why life is so colorful in the first place. By staying true to what you love and embracing what you want to become, you are pushing to make your dreams a reality, and you're attracting like-minded people in the process. Think of this. You have undoubtedly found it impressive when people are genuine to themselves. This is exactly because they're unapologetic about who they are and what they believe in, and build their very own paths in life. Sure, they might be weird from time to time, but they're honest. And because of that, you can always trust them and trust their actions, which is valid for their opinion and feelings for the people they surround themselves with. Accepting and acting the way you actually want to is a complicated process, but it's what turns you into the person that you aspire to be, and that, by definition, surrounds you with the right type of people. Next, start looking. Once you have all this down, this final step is actually surprisingly easy. You can start interacting with people that have similar interests and make new relationships from there. Hobbies are great for many reasons, and this is one of them. Going dancing, enjoying a sport, or wine tasting are all social activities and most likely filled with people just like you. And the best part is, once you're honest about what you want, you waste no time in anything short of just right. Sure, relationships can sometimes be difficult, and building new ones may sound a bit intimidating at first. But it only gets better once you begin. So here's, at the end of each chapter also, I put in like a conclusion or a final thought or a key message. This is the key message here. Finding the social circle that's right for you will undoubtedly make your life much more happy and easy, while also helping you turn into the person that you aim to be. By being true to yourself, you let everyone around you know who you are and what you're looking for. And there's no shame in that. And there's no reason to back down from that. We must stand firm in our foundation. Attracting the type of people you want happens only when you're honest. And that honesty is exactly the reason behind the magnetism itself. With all of this being said, it's time you go out into the world and indulge in your uniqueness and your liveliness. The right people for you will be there to cheer you on. My friends, honesty is so important in life. It really is. Not only for other people, but for yourself. Not only will it attract the right people to you and attract people who actually have those same qualities as you, people that you can trust and depend on because of their honesty, But you'll also sleep better at night. There'll be less anxiety, less stress. You know, people who are not honest, they don't sleep very well. All right. The next chapter I'd like to share with you is Mood Swings, Part 1. The definition and causes. Thanks to experiments and proven theories, we now know that the entire universe is constantly searching for balance, trying its best to avoid extremities at all costs. Similar to a pendulum of a clock, or pendulum, we, like the universe, constantly search for the golden middle. We do this both consciously and subconsciously in pretty much every aspect of our lives. Work, rest, sleep, spending time with friends, even when we're alone, working out, relaxing. We do most of the basic human activities with the idea of establishing a balance between them. This is why when your emotions are stronger than normal, it can feel challenging to go about your day as you usually would. Although mood swings are common, we aren't always sure why they happen and how to control them exactly. Sometimes the intensity of our current emotions doesn't have an explanation, and we find ourselves questioning everything that surrounds us. This is not only exhausting, but can sometimes have a more lasting negative effect on us, our relationships, and our overall quality of life. And for those and many more reasons, I've decided to shed some light on how to understand your feelings better and take the first baby steps towards establishing control over them. First, what do psychologists say? Certainly, whenever we have an acute change in the state of an individual, there will be a bunch of psychologists trying to explain it. So here comes the question. What are mood swings exactly? Psychologists identify mood swings as great and sudden changes in the current emotional state of an individual. When you quickly go from feeling happy and upbeat to being easily irritated and kind of down and blue, you are likely experiencing precisely this phenomenon known as a mood swing. Sometimes mood swings are part of an underlying condition, and sometimes they are the side effects of the many challenges that we deal with that are a normal part of life. So why do they happen? I need better light in this place, I'll tell you that. So why do they happen? The most common reason for mood swings is, yep, you guessed it, stress. Regardless of whether it's sudden and extreme or accumulated over time and seemingly negligible, stress is the most common cause for rapid changes in our emotions. When we are under pressure, we can't focus on keeping everything in check, and we sometimes neglect our feelings, resulting in them spiraling out of control. This is precisely why we sometimes end up experiencing random shifts in how we feel towards certain people, or events, or even topics. Significant life changes are also widely known to cause these mood shifts. Whether this process happens subconsciously or not, we often respond more emotionally to things when something big is currently happening in our life. For example, getting married, finding a new job, becoming a parent, moving to a different city or state. All these things have a resounding effect on our temper and our perception. This phenomenon makes sense in the world when you think about all the emotional thoughts that we have while experiencing such events, and all the pressure and excitement they often bring us. Mood swings as a symptom. One of the lesser known things is that mood swings are also part of almost all mental illnesses. Depression, bipolar, and borderline personality disorders are just to name a few, in which rapid changes of mood are extremely common. This information should be considered by the patient and the doctor treating these conditions because it may change the final way of dealing with the problem. Mood swings can also accompany Alzheimer's, strokes, and other conditions that affect the brain. Hormone changes are also a common cause of mood swings. For women, the hormone estrogen often has this effect, which is dispensed during the menstrual cycle and pregnancy. And for men, that can usually be caused by testosterone and other major hormones that also undergo a cycle. Regardless of whether you are undergoing hormone treatment or just the body's natural response to something, a hormonal imbalance in your body can often make you feel emotions more intensely. Medication could be a cause. A different reason for experiencing these fluctuations is if you are using certain medications or are in the process of changing your medications. For example, mental health medicine often has this side effect, especially if you take it for the first time or change your usual routine. This is because it is designed to work with the part of your brain which deals with emotions, and there is a period of adaptation in which the brain gets used to the change. Had a hard time with that. However, other types of medications can be a reason for mood swings, and you should ask your doctor if you are experiencing this, and if you believe it's because of your prescriptions and medications. How common are mood swings? Most people experience mood swings at least a few times a year. This is completely natural because they are often subconscious responses to things that happen to us, some of which are beyond our control. We are incredibly emotional beings, and as such, it's impossible to expect that this part of us will always be under our absolute control. As a matter of fact, trying to keep everything under strict management is often how we end up having mood swings in the first place. With that being said, if you are experiencing them a lot more often and they hinder your life in any way, you should ask for the advice of a professional, as it may be a symptom of an underlying condition. Nevertheless, before doing that, let's take a look at the next chapter where I will go in depth on the steps you can take towards successful emotional management. Here's part 2, managing your emotions. So in part 1, you learned more about mood swings, their nature, and some of their causes. With that information in mind, you are now one step closer to resolving any emotional issues that may be holding you up. Why, you may ask? Well, because to resolve a certain problem completely, you don't need just a solution. You need an understanding of the core of the problem and how and why it arose in the first place. As a matter of fact, this deep understanding can also lead to logical conclusions that highlight the exact path towards the resolution of the problem at hand. Nevertheless, having concrete cues as to the methods you can use to manage mood swings and your emotional states as a whole can also massively help. So in this second part, we'll cover just that. Maintaining a steady mind. If you've read some previous material in any other of my publications, or the blog, the website, I have ebooks out there, on mindfulness, meditation. So if you've read any then you've probably seen me mention that the modern day lifestyle and social dynamics can easily kick your mind off balance. In a world like this, it is crucial to establish the skills necessary to keep your mind steady, in order for you to be able to guide it to whatever path you are looking to take. Based on experience, we would say that this has three main aspects: stress management, lifestyle choices, and different perspectives. Let's break them down. Stress management. All right, if the most common culprit for mood swings is stress, then it makes sense for the easiest fix to be stress management. Depending on the kind of stress you are experiencing, you may need different types of solutions. For instance, if you are under extreme momentary discomfort, you can try different breathing techniques. However, yoga may be a better idea if you are dealing with stress that has accumulated through time. Whether you find it peaceful to be alone or with people, managing stress is absolutely possible and will ease the shifts in your mood. And yes, yoga and other exercises can help, but stress management is done on a level of perception at the deepest level. So whenever you experience a stressful situation, try to stay aware of your reaction to it, and then begin questioning your reaction. Because reactions involve a great level of emotional output, and they are automatic. We usually follow their sequence. But suppose you use your most powerful tool, in this case, awareness and consciousness, and you use that to question that automatic behavior or that automatic reaction. Well, then your emotional reactions will change over time, thus leading to less prominent mood swings. This is base one. From then on, you have to get back to your natural human patterns, and your emotional transformation will be complete. So let's look at the second topic here: lifestyle choices. As I mentioned, your lifestyle choices massively impact the internal chemistry your body is running on. Bad chemistry means poor emotions, and poor emotions mean more frequent mood swings. Think of it this way: your body was designed to work in a certain way, which we call natural. And if you get further from that, which our modern lifestyle pushes us towards, well, you know what happens. You've got to move it. Yes, exercise. When you are consistently active, the machine your body starts working in the best way it can because it has the best incentive it needs. Not only that, but exercise also releases endorphins that are responsible for regulating stress and your overall mood. By teaching your body to be consistent, your mind will likely follow, and it will naturally start fighting rapid shifts in moods. Even just a 30-minute workout once every 2 days will positively affect your emotional state. Oh, and not to mention, you'll start looking better as a side effect. Well, I put you'll start looking better naked as a side effect. Think of it this way. The body was designed to move, to constantly be in motion. Just look at your complex the muscular skeleton, let's say, musculature. It's begging for you to get up and move so that the body can fulfill its true potential. So get up, sprint, climb, jump, crawl, swim, do whatever you got to do. Find a way to move that you personally enjoy and love doing, and stick to it. And also consider doing Tai Chi Chuan, or Tai Chi as it's well known, or even Qigong. Very, very good. Both of those, Tai Chi and Qigong. Qigong is a spiritual thing, mindfulness and meditation. And Tai Chi, it does use mindfulness and meditation also, but it's more of the physical aspect of it. When you combine the two, Tai Chi and Qigong, there's no stopping you. Excuse me. I need a sip of tea. Okay. Wake up, sleepy eyes. Yes, getting the right amount of sleep that you need with the quality that you need is synonymous with feeling like the normal you. We have all had sleepless nights or experienced difficulties when trying to do something taxing early in the morning. We know how that makes us feel. Sleeping well is vital for the way that you perceive the world and therefore what emotion it incites in you. This is why people that have chronic problems with sleep often have mood swings. So try this. Go to bed at the same time every night. Whether you fall asleep right away or not doesn't make a difference. Make sure you're in bed at a particular time every night. Avoid eating heavy meals right before bed. Don't eat your dinner an hour before you go to sleep, or an hour before you go to bed. Avoid screen time in the last 1 to 2 hours before bed. That means computer, cell phone, mobile devices, television. Put them down. Just the light alone from those things stimulates the brain and wakes you up. Not to mention, whatever it is that you're viewing is getting the brain, keeping the brain occupied and active. So try listening to some soft meditation music. You can find it on YouTube. It's Pandora has it. You can find it anywhere. Just type in either sleep music or meditation music, and try listening to that for the last 30 minutes or even an hour, but at least a minimum of 30 minutes before you go to bed. And create a bed routine. This is what you do every night. Make it a routine. Because let me tell you, after a certain amount of time, everybody's different. But when you go to bed at, let's say, 10 o'clock every night, then you do it for so often, your body adjusts. That's what's great about our bodies. They adjust. We can change them. And, then it becomes like second nature. Like as soon as it hits around 9:30, you'll start feeling sleepy, and you'll want that. You put that music on, and then you're right out. Before you know it, by 10 o'clock, you're out. It might take you a couple weeks to get there, but it'll work. Next, eat like your ancestors. If you're not getting all the nourishment that you need, you may experience negative changes in your mood. This is why some people are cranky in the morning. Lower blood sugar and caffeine withdrawal, if they drink coffee daily, can make a person easily irritable. Malnourishment works in the same way, but on a deeper level. Food is the body's fuel, and you can't expect it to work properly if it's not receiving that fuel, what it needs. This is also why some digestive disorders are associated with mood swings. And here's a little hint I have in little parentheses. It says, psst, it's all in the gut. I'm very soon, because I've been doing some research and stuff, but science is learning more and more that just how important gut health is. We can change so many things about our life, about our health, just by making sure our gut is in good shape. But there'll be more on that in the future. Certainly, though, eating well nowadays is something very hard to do, mainly because we are constantly bombarded with processed foods. Nevertheless, that doesn't mean you can't find food close to the natural quality and our hunter-gatherer ancestors had, like natural raw vegetables. Instead of frozen ones or ones in a can or ones that are, they add a pound of salt to them to preserve them, Just get yourself some nice vegetables and steam them just a little bit, just to soften them up a little bit and make them digestible. Here are 7 of the best rated foods that everyone should focus on. Grass-fed beef. Eggs from pasture-raised chickens. Wild-caught salmon and other seafood, wild caught. Dairy products from pasture-raised animals. Root crops, with carrots, potatoes, beets. The roots in the root vegetables are so good for you. Radishes, beets, look at turmeric. Turmeric is a root. Ginger is a root. It's amazing. Fruits and vegetables and nuts. Besides focusing on those, one should also avoid highly processed foods. And if consumed, they must not represent more than 10 to 15% of your total daily food intake. It should be less than 15% of processed foods. And that means eating at fast food places. That means eating prepared foods. And lastly here, just ask someone. If you are worried that your mood swings are a sign of something deeper, or just have trouble dealing with them easily, you should seek the advice of a therapist. There you will find the answers to all your questions and start working on a plan to keep your emotions in check. Different types of therapy offer different solutions, and you will undoubtedly find one that suits your needs. 2 of my top recommendations, though, is cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, because this strongly relates to one's perception about things, And this is precisely where the change is made. And the other is neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which actually will teach you how to rewire your brain. It will teach you, give you techniques to actually alter the neural pathways that have developed in your brain. Because repetition, by doing something a certain way and reacting a certain way, over time, it has made a very strong pathway in the brain, which is called a neural pathway. So when we find ourselves in a similar situation, the brain takes the easiest route, and that one's right there. And it's just because it's been so repetitious throughout your life. It's like a wide path. So the brain's automatically, it's just automatic. It's going to take that path the way you've always reacted. But NLP is going to teach you how to change that pathway and create a new one. So the final thoughts of this chapter. Mood swings are a common problem for a lot of people, especially in today's fast-paced society. This is exactly why you can find a lot of information about them and advice on dealing with the challenges that they pose. Although sometimes such seemingly random shifts in your emotions may seem scary or make you feel powerless, it's crucial to remember that there is nothing you won't learn to handle with time. Start with small changes in your daily life and see where that takes you and how they make you feel. And always know that you can get help the moment that you feel you want to. Stay balanced. So that's 2 chapters out of my book here. Okay? This book is available through Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So you can go to either one of those, and if you type in that title there that you see on the screen, Change, It Begins With You, you'll get it. Now, it's also available in ebook format. But I'm going to tell you something. In this book, I have left pages and spaces purposely blank, okay, for you to take notes. Because my intention was for this to be a workbook. A book that you will always have. Not an ebook that you're going to read and then, toss it, or if you get a new device, you lost, whatever the case may be. This, you're going to, during each chapter, when I ask you to think of something or to answer a question, you're going to be able to write it, okay, in the spaces that I've left you. But the most important reason for that is because in 6 months or a year down the road, you're going to look back at the book that you have, because you're always going to hold on to this. And you're going to look at the notes and you're going to see where you were a year ago and the progress that you made. And that is such a motivator. That's why I wanted this to be a workbook. I want you to highlight in it. I want you to circle with red pen certain things in this book. I want you to write your notes in here. Write your goals, your ambitions, your visions. Write the things that piss you off. Write the things that hurt your feelings. Write everything in this book. Because in a year from now, I want you to go back to it and I want you to compare where you were and where you are. it will work for you. Now, I'm sure that there's a lot of things in here that you already know, but you don't know everything that's in this book. This is a lot of research. And unless you're in that field or business to know, I can't even tell you. What is the growth mindset? The two mindsets. Competition versus cooperation. The importance of self-love. Habits to implement in your life. The areas of personal development. The stages of personal development. Signs that you're emotionally well. Self-mercy versus laziness. What's the difference? Self-control. Morning routines for a stressful day. Meditating your way to calmness. How to shatter limiting beliefs. The human operating system. Listening to your own feelings. Learning to take your feelings into account. Improving your quality of life. How to use the Pomodoro technique. How to set correct goals for yourself. How to make your mind work for you. Becoming more organized in your daily life. How to effectively manage your time and productivity. How to eat on a busy schedule. How to challenge yourself. How does appearance affect your self-esteem? Help yourself before others. Why is this so important? 5 habits that lead to unlimited success. Habits, what they are and why they matter. Fulfilling your true potential. Finding the right career path. Finding peace and adventure. Financial discipline. Emotional intelligence. What is it and how to develop it? Do affirmations work? Connecting with different types of art. Burnout. What is it and how it happens? Becoming more self-aware. An hour a day for a better life. Achieving the work-life balance. Achieving emotional balance. 5 types of people to surround yourself with. 3 toxic behaviors and habits that rob you of your energy. 3 steps to achieving success in anything. These are the type of things that you'll see in this book. What is life's purpose? 3 ways to unlock your purpose. Unlearn these habits. These are all the types of things that you're going to find in this book, my friends. The ebook, it's great if you're not serious about transformation, if you're not serious about change, if you're not serious about setting a goal for yourself to become something that you were meant to become, then the ebook is fine if you're just curious. But if you truly, truly, truly want change in your life, then grab this workbook. Grab the workbook. Highlight, circle, scratch, write notes, write goals, write your visions. As I said before, write the things that piss you off. Write the things that annoy you. Write the things that frustrate you. Write the things that you're set your mind to. You need this workbook. You need the print version. Check it out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Thanks for checking out the review here, or preview. And I'll come back tomorrow and I'll probably share, well, maybe not tomorrow, but in the next couple days, and I'll share another chapter or two. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And grab the book. I'm telling you, grab it. Don't let it pass up. Do it now. You won't regret it. Change. It begins with you. Have a good night, folks. See ya. Be blessed.